ChatGPT is great for many things. Those of us who have been using ChatGPT for quite some time, especially if you are either an instructor, a teacher, a student, ChatGPT is a wonderful assistant. Hi, my name is Cio Rodriguez, and in this short video, I'm going to put ChatGPT to the test to see actually how smart ChatGPT is. And well, let's see. Let's see what happens. I don't want to spoil the answer over here. This is a question uh, for the Microsoft SC100 certification exam. That is the Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect certification exam. The question goes like this. You have an Azure AD tenant that syncs with an Azure Active Directory Domain Services ADDS domain. Client computers run Windows and are hybrid joined to Azure AD. You are designing a strategy to protect endpoints against ransomware. The strategy follows the Microsoft security best practices. You plan to remove uh, all the domain accounts from the administrators groups on the Windows computers. You need to recommend a security solution that will provide users with administrative access to Windows computers only when access is required. The solution must minimize the lateral movement of ransomware attacks if an administrator account on a computer is compromised. What should you include in the recommendations? And the choices are A, local administrative password solutions or LAPS. B, the Azure AD Identity Protection. C, Azure AD Privilege Identity Management or PIM. D, Privilege Access Workstations or PAWS. And so this is that was what I asked ChatGPT. And the answer to that question was for the scenario described where you need to provide administrative access only when required while minimizing the risk of lateral movement. In case of a ransomware attack, the best solution is answer C, which is Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. And actually, that is wrong. PIM is not the solution over here. And again, so here goes ChatGPT to explain, to give its reason why PIM is the best answer, and then it gives me the reason why these answers are incorrect. Well, it happens to be that if you want to remove the administrator accounts from the Windows computer, so one of the biggest uh, uh, I would say, vulnerability, threat to a risk, if you want to call it, is having the administrator account enabled on users' computers or so that users can use those computers. So Labs is a technology that it does this. It manages local administrator account passwords, ensuring that they are unique and complex on each machine. So traditionally, a lot of administrators used to have the same password in all the administrator accounts so that they could access stuff easily. And again, this is really, really bad because if an attacker gets into a network and they get access to the administrative account, they can do a lot of harm. So labs basically comes to solve that issue. So that is the correct answer. And so I'm not going to go over all these things. I mean, obviously, I happen to know this, but anyone studying for this or any other certification, when ChatGPT is faced with complex questions, you got to be very careful. You cannot take um, just for granted that any answer that you get from ChatGPT it's going to be correct. And again, this is not the only questions. There are many questions that I have found to the point that uh, I don't rely too much on ChatGPT when it comes to complex questions, stuff that are a little bit difficult like this. But anyway, it's helpful, helps in a lot of other ways. But to my friends, colleagues, students, be careful when you are ChatGPT can be used for many things, and studying for a new certification, uh, it's a very good way. A lot of people use it this way, including myself. So, anyways, now, so I went in and then I told ChatGPT, I say, I think you are wrong. The answer is A, local administrator password solution or LAPS, because the question states that you need to remove the local administrator account. So the only solution over there that actually does that is LAPS. While PIM is great to manage the privileged accounts in Azure, but PIM does not actually remove the local administrator accounts for the Windows computer. So obviously anyone who's know who a PIMS or in labs are now that this was wrong. So and then I told that to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT goes, um, I thank you for the clarification. Let's revisit the scenario and analyze the use of the local administrator solution labs in relation to the need for secure control administrative access to endpoint devices, especially in the context of protecting against ransomware. Okay, so ChatGPT is not admitting that uh, he or she is wrong, that it's wrong. It's wrong, right? It's not a person. So, and then it says, well, revisiting the scenario, you plan to remove all the accounts. So it's just basically repeating what I said that I was going to do, and then it says local administrator solution. So it's a LAMP manages the local administrator password or domain joint computers so that the password are unique. And then it goes kind of repeated guys this thing, but and then why labs could be appropriate. So basically meaning like, well, labs could be appropriate, but maybe not. And then you start giving all this explanation, right? But still, it's not telling me you know, whether it's wrong or right. And then it gives me all this stuff over here, right? And then I go, so do you agree? So do you agree that I am right? Uh, that I am right? Oh, yeah, I meant to say, do you agree that I am right and you are wrong here, right? And then ChatGPT goes and says, in light of your focus on the immediate requirements to to securely manage and restrict access to local administrator account. Yes. So still, it's saying that, well, because you want to do the, I mean, to be honest with you, this question, it's very clear, cut and clear for anyone who knows this material. But ChatGPT doesn't want to actually admit that it was wrong. And the your choice of local administrator account is indeed the correct approach for the given scenario. Labs directly, and then blah blah blah, and then it starts giving the run around kind of like, and then it gives an excuse. It says my previous recommendation of Azure AD Privilege Identity Management or PIM emphasizes broader administrative access control and would complement labs. Well, yes, but the problem is that the question specifically says that it wanted to remove the local administrator account from the local computer, that I wanted to remove the password and give, like a more complex password to the administrator accounts on those computers. So that's the point of it is. That's why it's clearly um, PIN cannot help in that scenario. So anyway, ChatGPT doesn't want to admit that, but then I say thank you for admitting that I am smarter than you. Obviously, I'm not, but I just wanted to tease ChatGPT. and then it says, "You're welcome. I'm here to provide information and learn from interactions like this one. Your insights are valuable, and I appreciate the discussion. If you have more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask." Anyway, so my the main point that I wanted to make about this is that when we ask ChatGPT complex questions, especially if you're using ChatGPT to practice to study for a certification exam, just be careful and don't take the answers that ChatGPT without reviewing and actually investigating a little bit further. And that goes for everything. And I actually emphasize this with my students. I have no problem with my students using ChatGPT for their work, whatever it might be. But I have two requirements. First of all, you have to put ChatGPT as a reference. And second, you have to read carefully and format, and just don't take what ChatGPT gives you and copy and paste it into a page, because that's going to give you some trouble. Anyway, so that's all. I just wanted to have fun with ChatGPT. Hope that you find this short video interesting.